This is the latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Darrell Wayne.
Welcome back into another edition of the latest from the greatest. I am the insane Darrell Wayne, your humble host. On our latest from the greatest stage a couple of days ago, we recorded the Space Band recording. We had Brian Batchley of the Preachers on this radio program before. He had a farewell concert right out here, right on the deck outside our studio, and we're willing to share that with you tonight. Also some new Joe Bonamassa out of Florida. We're going to start out with Pat Travers, one of the unsung heroes of rock and roll. He has a new studio album, sort of retro. But first, the greatest and the latest from Pat Travers.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Darrell Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
With rain falling in the background here at my Ventura studio of the latest from the greatest, it's me, the insane Darrell Wayne. This is Pink Floyd, their latest release, The Endless River.
This is Little Steven, and you are listening to the insane Darrell Wayne.
What a road these guys have been over. Fame and fortune for Cheech Marin, jail for Tommy Chong, back together again. First the greatest, then the latest from Cheech and Chong.
Professor and Mary Ann here on Gilligan's Isle.
It is the latest from the greatest. You've got me, the insane Darrell Wayne. On the line, we've got Don Wells, who was Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island. What a great run.
I'll say. How long has it been?
Well, it's been 50 years.
Never been off the air in 50 years, or in 30 languages as we speak right now.
Is it one of those programs where they say that it's always playing somewhere at any given time?
No question. Yep. And now we have the Me Channel. Me Channel's come out. They're running it. They're starting it. TV Land is running it again. And we're in 30 languages all over the world. I've never seen it in German or French or Chinese. I would love to see it done that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to stare into the hypnotic eye of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in just a few minutes. But first, the greatest from 1978, I Need to Know. 1989, we're going to run down a dream.
Hey, this is Jason Alexander, and you're listening to the insane Darrell Wayne. Why? Why do you want to listen to an insane person? This makes no sense. I mean, is this a work program? Is he a savant of some kind? All right, well, power to you. Okay, Darrell.
It's the Association, and Along Comes Mary. Before that, the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations. What do they have in common? Well, first, they were recorded in the 1960s in Hollywood, California. And the next guest on our radio program is the producer of a film and writer and director and many other things, Denny Tedesco. Denny, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Denny is talking to us from the streets of New York City. And Denny, this was really started as an homage to your father, correct?
Well, my dad was part of it. He was Tommy Tedesco. He was the guitar player of those session players of the day. But when I started the film, it was about the group of musicians known as the Wrecking Crew. And as for those who don't know, the Wrecking Crew were the guys that did the Beach Boys, Sinatra, Jan and Dean, Mamas and Papas, Fifth Dimension, Elvis, Johnny Rivers, anything that was done in L.A. in those early days, these guys probably had something to do with it.
From the last tour, it's Van Halen recorded live in Tokyo and Running with the Devil. Got a chance to see that tour 2 or 3 times and was trying to get invited backstage. Grew up with these guys in my backyard, working in radio in Pasadena, California, and had them down to the station several times. We used to hang out, and they said, well, actually, after the show, the Van Halens go home and Dave heads for the strip bars, and there is no backstage or after party or any of those kind of things. So I guess we'll take a pass. It's Van Halen recorded live again in Tokyo on the latest from the greatest.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers. We'll be right back.
And we've got Jim Heath on the line. He is the Reverend Horton Heat from Dallas, Texas. Jim, how are you this afternoon?
Oh, I'm doing really well. In San Diego this afternoon doing a show.
Let's talk a little bit about the genre. I mean, I've got my personal opinion of where some of this comes from, but are you amenable or offended by the term psychobilly applied to your music?
Well, I don't really mind too much. You know, labels labels are kind of a tricky thing. Obviously, that's kind of the old cliche, and but you know, I don't mind. You know, in all honesty, I don't really consider us to be a psychobilly band, though. But you know, whatever people say, it's fine. I don't care. The thing about us is, you know, we can get bluesy and we can get jazzy, and we can get we can get country a little bit too sometimes, that a lot of psychobilly bands don't do.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Darrell Wayne, aren't you?